Ladies, gentlemen, and adventurers of all ages, I know a lot of you who are really into this game have already finished your first playthroughs of Baldurs Gate 3, but not only is there second or even further playthroughs than that if you want to, but we also just had the game released on PlayStation a couple of days ago too, so of course while there are more cool, powerful weapons and equipment to share I will do. Today we're going to continue our focus on Act 3 as there is still so much to be gathered up in here. First up then is a dagger called the Stillmaker. This is somewhat of a part of a side quest line, but even without doing that side questline, you can get this weapon just by stumbling upon the right area and passing a passive perception check, which is quite a simple task for a special weapon. From the exit of Rivington to go into the city itself, there is a bridge. You can go down a side path to the beach if you'd like to, and directly under the bridge itself is actually an entrance to a cave. Simply walk in here, and then a short walk forward, there is a fight in this room the first time that you're here, but after that you'll notice a shallow hole that you can look in, where you will find this lovely purple dagger waiting for you, 1d4 with a +2 weapon enchantment, as well as the ability to cast Hold Person once per long rest, which can be a really big deal in some encounters, a very good spell to have access to if you don't have it in your party otherwise. Second today then is another dagger actually, and this one is in a potentially familiar location. Back down on the beach where you found the cave entrance, if you head all the way to the west side of this area sticking to the sea line, you'll find an encounter between two different groups. Through conversation you can join sides with one of them, but what if you kill them all? We've talked about the hammer that you get from one side's leader being killed, but if you also kill the leader of the other side of the conflict too, you get the gleamdance dagger. This is 1d4 with a +2 weapon enchantment. It constantly glows in a 6-meter radius, and when equipped in your offhand, it gives you +1 to your AC, which is of course excellent for any dual wielders out there. Really good damage still, but an excellent survivability boost from this weapon if you want it. Third then, we have a shop that you might not be aware of, which is the Harper Shop. It's by the south span of Worm's Crossing waypoint that you have in the most northwest building of the area by the entrance to the city proper. There is a building that you can enter on the second floor by heading up the stairs. If you are in good standing with the Harpers from Act 2, then talking to the bartender will unlock a special shop for you that doesn't pop up on the map beforehand, effectively a hidden vendor. And in this shop are a number of incredible items. One standout is the Cloak of Displacement, which gives you a buff at the start of every turn, giving enemies disadvantage on attacks against you until you are hit by one of them, essentially just making you a lot harder to actually hit and being extremely effective for simply a cloak slot. Another great item in the shop is the Horns of the Berserker helmet. This gives you +2 bonus to attack rolls whenever you attack something that isn't at full health, and also gives unarmed and melee attacks 2 bonus necrotic damage if you aren't at full health yourself. But if you go a turn of combat without dealing damage, you take 1d4 of necrotic damage yourself. It's a really solid helmet with some interesting application potential for sure though. Fifth then, we'll be taking a trip to the western side of the lower city for a little bit of an adventure that will lead us to 2 incredible items. Our location of choice then here is the Steelwatch Foundry found here on your map. You can enter this through the south gate with some lockpicking and some diplomacy as well, but no matter how you do this, you're going to wind up in combat eventually here, let's be honest. After combat ends, you want to find this lever on the south side of the building and use it to gain access to the side of the facility. In this area there will be some more conversation and potential combat, then otherwise you have a little bit of a scavenger hunt. Right beside the door that you entered the room in on the south, there is a Steel Watcher's arm. You want to pick it up.
That dude there, I need his prosthetic leg.
His leg?
Yeah. God knows I don't need the rest of him. Look at him, he's useless.
Then head to the southwest side of the room, and on this little table you will find an item called a targeting module. Pick that up too. Behind you from there is a door to the security room. You want to lockpick it or use a key that you may have gotten from prior fighting, and on a desk in front of you as you enter the room is the Hellfire engine crossbow blueprints. Pick them up, not just read them, but full on pick them up, put them in your inventory. Then on the other side of this room there is a table at the bottom of a set of stairs. Simply interact with this table, drag in the blueprints, drag in the arm and the targeting module as well, then press combine to be granted the incredibly effective Hellfire engine crossbow. 1d10 +2 weapon enchantment, lightning arrow as a spell once per long rest, which is exceptionally strong in the right situation, and then the unique weapon action reposition malefactor, which is essentially half damage but pulls the target 9 meters closer to you with absolutely no cooldown. You can use this every single turn, making it an excellent repositioning tool for sure. In the middle of this area you'll see a staircase that heads down as well. Descend here to enter the lab area of the Steelwatch Foundry. There will be combat here as well. Deal with it and then find the large door to the control center antechamber. In here there will be a really big fight with a big boss in it. The boss will be resistant to most things but weak to lightning damage, so that's the best hint that I've got as far as how to beat them. Other than that, when the boss dies you can loot them to find the legendary gontr mael bow, which I have no idea how to pronounce correctly even slightly, but it clearly is an incredible item. 1d8 +3 weapon enchantment. On hit has a possibility to inflict guiding bolt for advantage on the next attack against that opponent. It also glows permanently in a 6-meter radius and has the celestial haste spell once per long rest, rest, which allows you to actually just use haste on yourself for 5 turns. On top of that, it has a special weapon action, which is Bolt of Celestial Light as well. You can use this once per short rest to frighten enemies and make it so after using this attack, enemies take an additional 1d4 of radiant damage from future attacks with this weapon. Truly an amazing companion for anyone wanting to use a longbow. After that, we got another lovely cloak in the Undercity area near the rune's waypoint itself. Down in the dirty sewers on the eastern side of the middle part of the area, right around here on your map, you will find someone named Alis, who appears to have done something a little bit naughty. If you choose to kill him here, then you'll be able to loot from his body after the fact the cindermoth cloak, which makes it so anyone who dares damage the wearer from within 2 meters receives burning, taking 1d4 of fire damage every turn afterwards, making it really quite strong, and given the cloak slot has limited competition really, it is one of the better ones there for sure. Then we have one last location within which you will find a lovely 3 powerful and important magic items too. This location is Filgrave's Mansion, a magical location that you can find on the southern side of the lower city area, the most southwest section within the walled off part of it. There is no direct entrance to this building, but on the west side you can succeed a check to see a secret door down here. Then you can lockpick your way through said door. Once inside, you'll come across a mummy lord, but he isn't hostile if you don't treat him with hostility yourself, so have a nice chill conversation and eventually he will turn into a vendor that you can trade with, and quite a valuable one at that. There is the Veil of the Morning armor, which makes undead have disadvantage on attack rolls against you and also gives you advantage on saving throws against the undead too, as well as letting you use Turn Undead, the channel divinity, once per long rest. On top of that, there is some very particular armor for Circle of the Spore Druid, the armor of the Sporekeeper. First, you gain +1 to spell save DC, but you also deal 1 bonus necrotic damage every time that you deal necrotic damage in general. While Symbiotic Entity is active, you can also spread Bibberbang spores, Timask spores, and haste spores. All of these are just multiple alternate applications of spores as an entity. This feels just so majorly powerful for a Spore Druid that if you are playing one or even considering doing so, this should absolutely be on your radar. Then our final item of the day, also from the shop, is the Hood of the Weave. This is a helmet that very simply gives you +2 to spell save DC and also to spell attack rolls too. If you have an offensive spellcaster in your party, this is extremely good to have around. It's pretty much just that simple. And that just about does it for today then, everyone. A nice collection of 10 really strong endgame items that you can easily miss in Baldur's Gate 3, all happening within Act 3 and somewhat deep into it too. There is still more to be found though, so let me know if you guys want more of these videos to come too, and we'll provide. Like if you like the video, subscribe to the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet. Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.